It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, the flock. With what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. You hear that little fly? Meet, M-E-T-E, not M-E-A-T, not M-E-E-T, but M-E-T-E means to measure out a portion or a space to decide. So I'm going to give this person this much. That this much is the meat, you see? The measure that was taken out. Well, whatever amount you measured out, that's the amount that's measured out to you. Now this is where wisdom comes in. See, because when a wise person hears that, they say, wait a minute here. I will get what I give. So then let me give much. Now, give much. God loveth a cheerful giver. Look how it goes together like Legos. You see why he loves that? Because it's an expression of wisdom. And he told you to take hold of wisdom more than all the things of the earth. And we learned that through Solomon and his request to Abba, which was not any earthly thing he asked for, but he asked for a pearl of great price that when a man get it, he sell everything else that he had. Wisdom. You see, money is a defense. Wisdom is a defense. You see that there? Which one do you think is the greater? So then take hold of the greater. And that's an expression of proof that you've taken hold of the greater thing, is those who give much and give much cheerfully. Because they desire to have much, obviously. And who doesn't? You know, when you think about good, doesn't abundance come basically simultaneous with the ideology of good? Don't they come together, in other words? Abundance and good. The promises of the Father all come with abundance, you see? And so the lack that the world experiences is due to not giving. That's all it is. It's due to taking. And the more the world takes, the less that it receives. Do you understand? This is why I mentioned on my other video previously about the Shabbat of the land. And keeping the Shabbat of the land, letting the land rest. You see? When you're taking and take-minded and take-oriented in your being, then you won't rest. You can't rest. You see? You're going to labor tirelessly to obtain something that you'll never be able to obtain. But you'll labor tirelessly for it. And this is where the curse of Adam comes into play. And you can see it clearly. You understand what peace is and what joy is and what gladness is that was promised to you once you see what the curse was. And what was the curse? It's very simple what it was. It was work. Curse is the ground for your sake, and from it you shall eat by the sweat of your brow. And a farmer gets on his tractor, drives out on his land, and gets to work. You see that? That's not a good thing. The world tells you that it is because the world is only centered on that. That's why bring a friend to the world is an enemy to God. Because the world is all about work, 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 work. Abba's all about rest. If he's not, then how come he keeps promising it? Skeet dee 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 dee. That's right. That's right. When do you rest? In wartime or in peacetime? Now, what's the name of Abba City? That's why I'm skeedly-deeing as I'm walking up the street. That's why. Because when it's true, and it ain't nothing that you can do. When it's true, and ain't a doggone thing you can do. You see that there? And that's how I love living. I love to live on firm foundations that don't fall when I stand on them. Wouldn't you like to? Or do you like to live in a world where it's like Mario World, where you jump on a platform and right when you're adjusting yourself to jump onto the next platform, if the floor falls out from underneath you? That's the world you like living in? Or do you like to stand on a firm foundation? What's up, bro?
How you doing?
All right. I would say it's better to stand on a firm foundation so that when the wind and the waves come blowing, guess what? Guess what? You don't fall apart. You don't disintegrate. But rather, you stand firm. Why? Because you were founded on a solid rock. That's what Yahushua said. He said that man was wise. Do you see what I'm saying to you today? But the foolish man didn't build his house on no rock. Guess what he built his on? He built his on sand. And guess what happened to it when the wind blew? Couldn't slip it. That's right. That's right. Came tumbling down, man, just like them walls of Jericho that look all solid and look like they're firmly founded, but they weren't, obviously. You see that there? And then you wonder why the Edomites were screaming these particular words when Israel was falling into their calamity. The Edomites were screaming, raise it, even to the foundations thereof. Even to the foundations thereof. Raise it, burn it, that's what that means. Burn it, destroy it, even to the foundations of that nation. That's what Edom was saying when Israel was falling. So, what measure you meet shall be measured unto you again. What measure you meet. Oh, I thought it was right to beat people on their back with a whip. What measure you meet shall be measured unto you. Oh, I thought it was okay to snatch people's babies away when they were crying for me, begging, saying, please don't take my child out of my hands and sell them where I'll never see them again. And I did it anyway. What measure you meet shall be measured unto you again. Oh, this person doesn't want to tell me who's hiding up there. Okay, I'll kill them, and I'll kill the children. I don't care. Well, what measure you meet shall be measured unto you again. I lied to my whole nation and tell them that they need to go to war, and then I lie and make up reasons as to why they need to go to war that never really happened. But hey, I need this money, so I don't want them to know that's why I'm going over there. So I'll just lie and make a false flag event to happen, and then just make them think that I'm going over there for a real patriotic reason. What measure you meet shall be measured unto you again. Yeah, I just lie to my citizens and I put them on straw men and put their name in capital letters because I know the blacks law of the land, but they don't know because they're ignorant people and they're destroyed for lack of knowledge. So I put them right into a debt slave system and they give me their children and put social security numbers on them and put birth certificates and give me all their information. And what measure you meet shall be measured unto you again. Do y'all catch my drift here? I don't know why people think they can do whatever they want to do and they'll still reap good things. You can do horrible things and reap good things. It doesn't work that way. What measure you meet shall be measured unto you again. It doesn't matter how long it takes for that measure to come back, it's still coming. Now that coming back of that measure, guess what? It proves that Yahushua's words are true. It proves it. So if people's measure don't come back on them, then he lied. You see that there? But y'all all say he didn't lie. So that part wasn't no lie neither. So then you better beware of the measure you've meted out in your life and how you've decided to treat people. Because if you were wise, guess what you did? You took your hand off that steering wheel of judgment. In other words, you dropped that stone you had in your hand, which was your hard-ass heart, that you would hurl stones at everybody else that does shit that you don't agree with. Just because you think it's right, it may not be right. But you may think it is, and so you'll stone your brother if he's not doing the thing that you deem is right, even though they got nothing to do with righteousness. You'd be surprised if you saw Yahushua sitting there drinking that wine. You'd probably call him a wine bibber because they did in his day, so it makes you better than them. He said the people that stand there and say, oh, I wouldn't have killed the prophets in Yahushua's day. He said, you prove that you're the children of those who did kill the prophets. That's what he said. So then who am I supposed to believe? Who am I supposed to believe, him or you? Well, it's easy for me to decide because he said, let God be true and every man a liar. And I understand why he gave me the warning too. Because men want to try to make it look like there's some other law in place other than you get what you give. You may not want to get what you give, and you may not want to get what you give because you've been given bad shit. That's the only reason. Because wouldn't you be happy to get if you were given good things? Would you be scared of what they call karma? Or in other words, would you be scared of the law of reaping what you sow if you were sowing good things into people's lives? The only reason you're scared of that is because you've been sowing negativity. You've been sowing impatience. You've been sowing meanness. You've been sowing hatred in your heart. Even though on the outside you go, hi Dave, how you doing today? All right, have a great day. As soon as Dave walks around the corner, your heart's saying something horrible and wicked to the man. And Yahushua don't care about that smile on your face and what you said outwardly. So it's really no need in you doing it, but people do it anyway because they want to fool men, as if men are the judge. Silly rabbits, tricks are for kids. Tricks are for damn kids, silly rabbits. You hear this shit? These people don't know nothing. They're out here talking about Jesus, 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 Jesus. But what's most important is with his words. That's the most important thing about this whole scenario of what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's not good. It's what he said, because Abba said, hear ye him. I'm well pleased with him. So then if he has earned this approval from the Father, then I may want to pay attention to what he's doing. It's simple to me. What got his approval on you? Because I sure want it. I want him to be well pleased with me. Well, follow me. That's actually what he said. So, okay, follow you how? Judge like this. Judge the heart of a thing. Don't judge outward appearance. Read the word, see if you see him say that. Then he goes, hey, grandson, look at all the hypocrites that you see. Look at their fancy suits. Look at their nice Rolls Royces they ride in. Look at the big fancy houses that they live in. They do all of this to be seen of men. They love to sit in those high places, to be called a rabbi in the market. You have so-called prophets say they follow Yahushua today that let people call them Baba. You hear this shit? That means father. When the scripture says don't do that, don't do it. You got whole church. Oh yeah, we're Catholic. Well then why do you call people Padre and Peter when the scripture says don't do that? Then you got these so-called Jewish running around, oh yeah, Rabbi this, Rabbi this. Yahushua said don't say that. Well, I don't follow Yahushua no way. Well, that's your damn problem right there. That's all y'all problem. Y'all think he lied. Well, I'm telling you he said the truth. So if you don't believe you'll reap what you sow, then keep on reaping whatever you want to reap. Because it's totally up to you. Because guess what? One of the biggest problems with mankind is they don't want to take control of their own salvation. They don't want to take it into their own hands and own it. They're waiting for someone to give them salvation instead of owning it. Because guess what the scripture says? Save yourselves from this untoward generation. Save yourselves. That's what it says. So that means it's up to how I judge. Because guess what? If I believe what he said and I give limitless. I mete out limitless forgiveness. Then what will I receive? It's obvious what I'll receive. So then that's what I do. That's the work I do. Because guess what? That's all it is. That all it is for us is to forgive. Because that's what Yahushua showed us in the end of his. That's what Joseph showed us in the end of his. So then what am I fighting against? Being bitter, a heart issue. So let me bust my heart wide open and circumcise my heart, like Abba said, and expose the tender part of it. So it can be touched and sensitive and tender again. And not hard-hearted the way it used to be and not want to forgive. Because can hard-hearted and forgiveness go together? Can tender-hearted and forgiveness go together? So what kind of heart I need to have, a hard one or a tender one? Now, can a tender heart give limitless forgiveness? Can a hard heart give limitless forgiveness? But how many people got hard hearts today? A whole lot of them, and you know that's true. They won't forgive the slightest little damn thing. They won't. So then, what will they get when it's time for them to be forgiven? The same thing they gave. It's that simple. And people always want to look at God and talk about God's judgments. They're yours. Obviously, by that statement that Christ made, they're your judgments. You told Abba what you wanted by what you did. So Joseph said, oh, I forgive you, my brothers. Because what you meant for evil, Abba meant it for my good. So I forgive you. I know, that's what I'm saying. Ain't nothing else to be said in the end. What did Yahushua say? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Forgive them. What did Stephen say at the end? Forgive them and lay this not to their charge. Ooh, man, you want me to keep going, or you got the picture here with the precepts upon precept, line upon line, witness upon witness, man. That's all you got to do, little flock, is to give great forgiveness, limitless. Focus on giving limitless forgiveness, and then you will receive it. Give limitless grace, and you will receive that. But if you limit grace, then you will have limited grace. Do you want that? Shit. Shit. So when you constantly forgive, can you be offended? No, you can't. You see? You can't be. Because being offended by that means it got power over you. And it has no power over us, y'all. Love is the only power that there is. You see that there? So focus on that today, little flock. On measuring out what you want to be measured to you. And if you do that, then you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. You prove how you feel about yourself by what you're going to do after you hear this message. And if you prove you love yourself, then you can love your neighbor as yourself. But if you go along treat people bad, that means you still hate yourself. That's all it means, because you're one. And until you accept that you're one, then you'll just keep kicking against the bricks of that. Silwan Misra Allah.